Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. My name is Angel. I'm in the practice of making more space for my natural soul's expression, and I invite you to come along with me. Today was an iconic day for me. I, I'm just going to say it. I launched my first group coaching program. It's the pilot, but still, I launched. This has been a soul's calling since I first discovered life coaching. Um, and I can't believe it. I mean, so there's this piece that wants to celebrate the outcome, right? Wow. All the magic, all of the magic that happened today. But I really want to speak to the work leading up to launch day. I know there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of nuggets there that I want to get quiet on and pull from. And hopefully I can stick to one topic, make this relevant and cohesive. So I'm just going to get quiet and I'd love to see what my spirit has to say about the energy that was leading up to the launch, doing something brave. Hi. This feels so good. So good. So good. Everything that I've talked about so far in these videos is the magic that happens, the effort, the energy, the work that is put into bringing forth some of these larger manifestations. Hearing your own voice, answering the calls, kicking fear, mm, dancing with fear. Fear is always going to be in the room, but it doesn't have to drive the car, right? It's always going to be in our vicinity, but it doesn't have to drive the car. Um, Rewriting the stories, the limiting beliefs, right? Pretty much every single topic that we've touched on thus far in our, I think, 17 videos. What? Um, are part of the magic. We would have had 18 last night, but it did not post, and I'm not quite sure why. So there's that. But today I want to talk about consistency and the art of showing up even when it gets hard. What I call day one energy. Yes. Ooh, this is juice. This is juice. What happens on day one? Anybody? Any Bueller? Bueller? We're not perfect. We hardly know the mechanics of whatever we're doing. Let's say we do end up going and starting something we're naturally good at, right? We might have some instinct, right? But then eventually we come to a point in the journey where we have to admit we don't actually know how to do the thing we're just naturally good at, and we have to continue to learn to do the thing, right? Um, I made a post about this piece on my Instagram last night, and it would have coincided with the video I posted, but it's okay. The release of expectations. When we can accept exactly where we are in this moment while working towards where we want to be, knowing that it's not going to look perfect, it's not going to be linear, it's not going to be black and white, it's not going to be clean, right? It's going to be messy. It all points to surrendering our expectations. Besides, who are we to think we know what something is going to look like before we even do it? That's Interesting. It's interesting. I understand where it comes from. This was part of the post on Instagram of like, I understand the need for expectations. It's a form of keeping us safe. We think that if we can premeditate what's going to happen in any given moment, then we can prepare ourselves. But, you know, raise your hand if that's kept you playing small to some degree. Analysis paralysis, perfectionism, people pleasing, trying to curate yourself to be somebody for everybody else, and just leading to more, what I call self-abandonment. I'm feeling called to share the fact that I have been curating a certain routine. Um, Actually, I've been curating a certain feeling of alignment for a few years now, but uh, I use this app that will track how many days I keep showing up, and I create the routine within there, but I have to tick everything off. And once I do, it says, "Yay, day one," right? Well, I had gotten it to 128 days at one point. I was so stinking proud. And then life lifed. Something happened and I got knocked off kilter. And for the next few months, for the next few months, I would sometimes show up and sometimes not. And so the amount of yay, day ones screens that I have screenshot in my phone, I keep a record. I like to gradually see how I've changed, especially over these last 2.5 years. But the amount of day ones after seeing that cool number of 128, some days would be extremely discouraging. Day one, Angel, and just like confirmation of all my limiting biases. Told you you can't, yada, yada, yada. Taking it as confirmation bias, right? And that's going to look and sound different for everybody, but I know darn well that everybody can relate to the feeling of falling off the bandwagon and the blame and the shame and the guilt that can come with that. I know you know because you're human, right? Well, I flipped the script on that. And now when I look at a day one, I'm like, that just means you're still here. You're still showing up. You still want this. Now, the type of routine that I'm curating is it's pretty gnarly. It's pretty gnarly. Congruence, mind, body, spirit, and in alignment and full surrender to my spirit too. Um, so it's gnarly, but it doesn't really matter what you're starting. It's going to be intimidating. You're going to have limiting stories. The brain will just remember what has been, not what is, wanting to, in the name of safety. Ugh. I'm like over it. Well, I got done with my morning routine this morning and I am on 122. So there's definitely something to be said. And I don't show up perfect. It's not like I sit up every single morning and to a T knock it out and, set aside that time every it's an all day routine now. It's not even a morning routine, it's all day routine. Sometimes I don't have all the time in the world, or I don't wake up on time, or I show up for the community so I'm up at 4 a.m. or I'm tired. I'm human. Hello, we're only human. So it's an all day thing. But when I get to tick off that last thing, which I think is celebration. That's something I was struggling with for a long time, celebrating my wins. I looked at it and it said 122 days. Again, I am very proud of that number. I'm very proud of the magic that happened today, but I'm even more so proud of the time, the love, the energy that goes into preparing oneself for days like today. Because let me tell you, the way that I was nervous before the launch, And yes, all these things. Who are you to be helping? Who are you to be leading? Who are you, when you need help and you need leading? And look at where you are. Da, 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 all these limiting things popping back up, even though I had worked on them for 122 and then 128 and then my entire life, still there just before the launch. And then I asked my spirit to come in. I said, lead, let me get out of the way. I think I'm crying because she just came in. She's like, I got this. And I have a practice of checking in. Hey, Spirit, are you here? Yes, I got this. Can you take the lead? I don't really know if I'm cut out for this. No, you were made for this. The pep talk my spirit gave me this morning. Are you kidding me? Iconic. It's the same calling that I get to keep showing up in all the areas. Because listen, what that phrase, how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's true. All of these cliche phrases are true. I only get frustrated with them because they'll say the cliche phrase but not explain how it's done or the embodiment of it or the examples, right? But now that I've been showing up in all these other areas, reinforcing the whatever the opposite of self-abandonment is, friendship and with yourself, partnership, self-partnership is what we're calling it for now until someone can tell me otherwise. It was so neat. I was like coaching myself through my spirit. That's fascinating. I keep wanting to say that's crazy because that's like the slang right now. That's crazy. Being coached by your spirit right now, that's crazy. But that's what it was. And I was able to just and here's the thing, a different version of myself would have been nervous to do that work, especially in front of others, because she wasn't practiced. But the way that I can sit in meditation in public, um, it it's a muscle memory thing. It's a I don't even think about it. I just know the feeling that I'm aiming for now, and I know how to get there now because I'm well practiced in these things. And so that, my friends, is the art of showing up. That's the art of showing up. Excuse me. I just said excuse me to my mic. Love you, girl. If there was another piece, let me tune in. Mm. Last night's video had a lot of really good nuggets, like mirrors from my entire community. Every single conversation kind of tied into each other in this really beautiful way. Um, when we continue to show up in our divine partnership with ourselves, that that is worship. Ooh, yeah, I said it, worship. Ooh. I was sitting at a beautiful concert, choir, classical choir concert. Um, and for me as a musician, harmonies like that and music like that is a spiritual thing to me because I recognize, and this is what Spirit said while I was sitting there, is church. That's God. Sorry, there's commotion in the house. Um, so that was one piece, right? And then I realized like I wouldn't even be able to feel that presence of self and God and magic if I wasn't present enough for these things. So, which led into another conversation with another beautiful mirror in my community of perhaps, perhaps going after the life that we want is much simpler than we think. And it's as simple as, hey, I don't like the way that I dissociate or avoid conflict, for instance. Okay, well, what do you value? I value presence, or I want to work on presence. I want to move towards presence. So what is it that you don't want? I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to just have all this avoidance stacked up and take me out, right? So then perhaps when any opportunity in any form comes to your table for connection, disconnection, whatever it is, it's going to look and sound and feel different to everybody. Perhaps it's just like, does this add more presence in my life? Can I be more present? Or is this adding to that zombie behavior that I know I have inside of me? And then tapping back into our power of choice. Very simple. It's not personal, it's vibrational. Mm, it's not personal, it's vibrational. And that ties into turning on our internal guidance system, starting to learn, starting to cultivate better inner dialogue. I mean, there's so much work that goes into all of that. And I am starting to piece these all out in an organized way. Actually, I kind of forgot that I launched a program today. So it's getting organized and I'm practicing guiding, introducing different ways you can go about the inner workings in a way that's digestible to you. So I'm going to run, I think, 2 pilots and then I will open cart on that program. And the program is called the Grounded Girl Era, but perhaps I'll let some grounded guys take a whack at it as well. We'll see. We'll see. I'll ask my spirit about that as well. Um, what is there anything else here? Mm. On that, it's not personal, it's vibrational. Um, that's also how we'll receive guidance and confirmation that something is or is not for us. For instance, um, you know, one of my gals today, she's like, I don't just feel calm after today's first session. She's like, I feel at peace. And there was something so resonant in that. That's one of the fucking goals here. To be so at peace that you trust yourself enough to go through all the mayhem and chaos in the world and still stand firm in who you are and to have that ripple effect of sovereignty and goodness so that we might be able to raise the consciousness of the world. Okay, so that was vibrationally epic. Then at the end of the session, she was using a card as a bookmark. And when she flipped it over, it said, hold on, let me find it because I took a photo because I'm that girl. The cardstock said, I release my need to be right. I am defenseless and at peace. I am a believe in signs kind. It's a sign. But even more so, the chills that I got up and down my body when she had just said, I'm at peace, and then read this thing of being at peace. I don't know. Here's the power of choice now, too. I could choose to disregard that and be like, oh, cool, peace. Maybe that's a theme for the day. But instead, I'm choosing to take that as Angel, you're in the right place at the right time. Grounded girl, you're in the right place at the right time. Look at this. And I do think that's how our spirits talk to us. Mine talks to me through music. Now I'm starting to tune in silence. It's really good. So that takes it back to the power of choice. That takes it back to the ripple and why we do things. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. We love to talk about, how do you soothe the nervous system? How do you heal the nervous system? Keep showing up. Keep showing up. to any degree. Shit, some of the practices today were anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds of these little mini exercises. I've gotten my meditation up to 4 hours, but I wasn't going to lay an hour's worth of meditation on these girls. I say that to say, keep showing up no matter what the degree is. Start small, right? It doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to be grandiose. In fact, it's better that it's not. It's only these small, and this is going to piss some people off. This is going to piss my all or nothing girlies off. It's going to piss my hurry up and get there people off. Those hustlers, those go-getters. Yeah, it's going to piss you off because you know I'm fucking right. Let's talk about it. Slide in the DMs. Let's have a conversation, bro. Oh, what came in just now is slow and steady wins the race. True. I know that scares you. I know that scares you. It scares you because you know your time on the planet is finite. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. But I'm going to challenge you in this moment because you're right. Your time is finite here. It's not stopping. Time is not stopping. Time is not slowing down. Look at your life right now. Is that how you want to live the rest of your life? If you were radically honest and intimate with yourself right now? A story that keeps coming up in my mind is um, I've been stripped of all these worldly things, and I really don't have, and I don't mean to sound ungrateful or unaware of all the love that I'm surrounded by at this time. But I think all of my loved ones will understand what I'm saying when I say this. I've been stripped of every worldly connection and or given it up, right? I'll take accountability. I quite literally do not have anything else to lose. Look at the smile on my face. I just caught myself in the camera. I'm like, I don't have anything else to lose. That used to break me. And yet now I'm like, oh, well, I've played small my entire life. I have nothing else to lose. Time is not slowing down. Why not try? Why not go after the callings of my heart? And then circle back to, and here's the next level of practice, release expectations. I've got a really cool opportunity on the table right now. And I caught myself I got anxiety one morning and I was like, God, just all the things anxiety will tell you about the unknown. You know, because you're human. You know what anxiety will tell you about the unknown. And what happened? I woke up with anxiety about it. Oh, I slipped into some meditation and I just kind of admitted, I was like, I am scared. I don't know what's to come. I don't know what's to come. And I just surrendered. I was like, let me admit this. Let me come to terms with this. I'm terrified. Anyone would be terrified in my position. And then all of a sudden I felt this warm thing and I heard in my whatever this is, the channel, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just heard, you know, you've always been protected and provided for. You are going to be okay. If not this, then something better. Your expectations can often limit everything. Who's to say that your goals, your visions, and your expectations aren't smaller than what could be? I won't even say what God has in store, what spirit has planned for you. Like, I won't even go there. Although but what could be? If we're talking about possibilities, possibilities are absolutely endless. We don't know what's to come. That was where the fear originated. So who are we to put all these limitations on things and keep us playing small to such a degree? You know, another beautiful mirror in my community was a friend who was like, you don't find yourself in your caves. I believe he said prisons, but we're going to go with caves right now. You find yourself outside there, right? When you're putting yourself out there, that's where you get the feedback and the mirrors and the data points as to who you really are and what's really possible. The possibilities are unknown. That's where the fear started. So, yeah, that's the experiment for science. That's the experiment. What happens if you release expectations? And instead of going, "Oh my gosh, I hope this opportunity that just came onto my table, I hope it's the one." And look at the signs and forcing it and contorting myself to be who they need for the opportunity to go through and forcing them to be who I need for the opportunity to go through. I'm just like, "Nah, if not this, then something better." I just want to see what happens. We all know what happens when you're pessimistic. We all know what happens when you're yeah, pessimistic, expecting the worst. Worst case scenario is, I don't know about you, but the fact that nobody gets out of this alive and nobody gets out of this life unscathed of some kind of trauma, I think we all know what the fucking worst case scenario is. I'm done. Done thinking about the worst case scenario. I'm getting passionate. Need to relax. It's getting late. I love you. I'm just going to tune in one last time. Hopefully, all this made sense. Again, I don't go back and watch these. You're literally getting the most rawest form of expression for me at this time. I'm going to keep showing up in this way because the name of the game is just to get comfortable posting, recording and posting. I'm not going to go back and look. I'm going to keep showing up in this way until I can decide what direction I want to take this. I know the overall mission, right? I want to raise the consciousness. I want to share the way that I think about things and the way that my spirit wants to think about things and the juicy conversations I stay having on a daily basis. Oh my God. I was just thinking, I was like, man, someone should really record my life, but I don't think I'm ready for all that. Um, so yeah, cheers to staying grounded in yourself. Cheers to answering the calls of the heart. Cheers to celebrating not just the outcome of your success, but the time, love, and energy spent all the way up until your success, because that shit is inevitable. That's the other thing. Your success, no matter what that looks like to you, is inevitable if you keep showing up outside of the cave. I think for some reason that just tied it into the very beginning message. Consistency, keep showing up to whatever capacity, to whatever degree that looks like to you. I'm living proof that anything is possible. And dude, you want to know the best part? The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Don't think I've forgotten about the worries of the world. I'll go back to video number 1 when I was crashed out and wiggled into alignment on coming here on YouTube. I just have a strong inkling, strong calling, strong knowing that living your most authentic self is the highest form of rebelliousness against, let's talk Star Wars, the dark side. Yeah, Star Wars terminology works here. Okay. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And if you're here, thank you.